Coach Cook, head boys basketball coach at Hamilton Heights Christian Academy. And you know I'm always locked in with my brothers, Raylan Wood with Power Forward.
What's up, y'all? This is Rico White. Y'all locked in with Raylan Wood, and this is the Power Forward Podcast.
Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy AJ, Jizzle, Money, Bubba, whatever you want to call me. I'm a professional basketball player. Support my boy Raylan Wood Podcast. It's gonna be elite. I'm telling you now.
What's up, world? Kendrick Tate, aka KTZ. Yo, when I power forward, it's got to be with Raylan Wood.
Welcome back to Power Forward with your boy Raylan Wood.
Man, what's going on out there, man? We got a special guest straight from Chattanooga, Tennessee, man. My brother, Steve Cook.
What's going on?
Man, welcome. Hey, before we get started, man, you just seen it. You know, I got to ask you, what is the most embarrassing moment you done had on the court?
Most embarrassing moment, man, it was, I think that was, I want to say that was like 2008, man, having to guard Xavier Henry. Xavier Henry ended up going to play at Kansas, played with the Lakers for a few years.
Yeah.
Man, we played him in a tournament out in Missouri, University of Missouri. This dude was 6'7" playing point guard.
Yeah.
And the whole game, and their team was loaded. I think they had like 4 NBA players, future NBA players on their roster. And the whole game, there was no help defense for me. So he posting up and he telling me everything that he was gonna do, and he did all the moves. And I'm like, what the hell? Everybody like, ain't no help. Ain't no help. I was like, man, it's gonna be a long night. So that right there, I think I want to say he had like maybe 40 that game. It was tough.
Brutal.
I think y'all had just got through playing Brad Beal in the auxiliary. I want to say y'all was playing Brad Beal in the auxiliary gym. We were playing on the main court, and they athletes first out of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
They were loaded, man, and that's when I knew that it was another level of basketball.
Yeah.
It was I knew, like, because we played Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley was tough.
Yeah.
We had played Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson was tough. When it got to that Xavier Henry dude, man, he was like 6'7", 220. His body was already developed for the NBA game. He was just waved. And I'm trying to guard him. I'm like 170 soaking wet at the time. And it's just like, man, it wasn't nothing I can do that. It wasn't nothing I can do
Cook,
that.
it's funny you jump off of that story because I talked to Jalen, and I do remember being there. And, man, I remember Xavier Henry. He lost the ball in the air and somehow got it back and dunked on Pretty Ricky. Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm. We didn't see Jordan Short after that.
No, we didn't see him no more after that. Pretty Ricky disappeared.
Yeah, he felt the face. Now, for real, he felt the face of the earth. But I don't even think he finished high school basketball.
Oh wow.
He got dunked on, and it was bad. That was an embarrassing game. It was nothing we could do.
No, not at all.
We could do with them dudes, man.
Didn't that dude get drafted by the Grizzlies?
Who was that?
Henry. That Henry dude.
Henry. I think he may have gotten drafted by the Grizzlies, but I know he played with the Lakers. I know he played with the Lakers for a short stint. Well, that's when the Lakers was.
He played on them down.
They were pretty bad.
Yeah.
They were bad at that time.
Right. So Cook, man, think about your earlier days, man. How did you fall in love with the game?
I fell in love with the game. So I was in between when I was young. I was in between baseball and basketball, and I loved both games. I was locked into both games, and I remember my freshman year. It was a guy that went to Chattanooga Christian. His name was Jason Holwater, and he was Mr. Basketball. Went to Vandy, played. He played with the Travelers, so he had called my high school coach at the time and said, "Hey, it's a guy named Charlie Benson who I played AAU for. He gonna come down to chat and check out Cook and one of my other teammates, Will Moore. He said he gonna come check the guys out." And talking to Charlie, he had made it very clear. If you play for our organization, you play no other sports, no football, no baseball, no nothing. And he was like, this organization is going to put you in position to be successful in playing basketball and ultimately get you a scholarship So when he told me that, I had to put everything down and go at another level of playing basketball.
For sure, man. The Travelers, man.
Right.
That's big, man. That's big, man. I've heard a lot, nothing but a lot of stories actually just about the Travelers, man. You know, we talked to J. Mike. I know J. Mike was on the Travelers. I know Will with the Travelers. Dre.
That's how I met Cook.
That's how we got close. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So tell me about like the Travelers at that time, y'all. Like, what was the roster? Like, where were the guys from?
So most of our guys were from East Tennessee. We had one guy, Robert Wade, that was out of Nashville. Kyle Teichman, who was an All-American at Freed Hardman, who was probably like top 3 teammates I've ever played with in my life. He was out of Nashville, went to Brentwood. My teammate at Chattanooga Christian, Will Moore. Then that's when we had Jay Steele on our team.
Yeah.
Fulton, Mr. Basketball, James Gallman. James Gallman was on that team. Big Joe Meady.
Yeah.
That was I think Joe Meady was at Carter, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
We had Big Jay Reynolds, a 7-footer from Maryville.
Mm-hmm.
George Short, that was from Greenville. That's the good dude. We said we end up never seeing. Josh Odom. Josh Odom, that was from Science Hill. He played at UTC. Josh kind of bounced around from here. He finished at Lincoln Memorial. Then we had a guy named Ashlon Adams from Science Hill. He ended up playing football at Austin P.
He ended up doing good at Austin P too, yeah.
And then Emmanuel, that was from Shelbyville.
Ooh.
And I'm forgetting Emmanuel's last name right now. I apologize, but we had a pretty good while. And Patrick Shaughnessy from Chat. He went to Grace Christian.
Right. So the circuit was kind of different back then, right? You know,
right.
Now, how did it work? Y'all just went. Y'all went to a couple of invitationals as far as associated with Nike and all that stuff.
So what's crazy? I mean, it was basically we were doing EYBL before EYBL started, because all the stops that they do for EYBL is basically the same places that we were going. You had to go to Indy, you had to go to Boo Williams, you had to go to like Arkansas, you had to go to Orlando. So some of the stops for the live periods that was from when we were playing on the Nike circuit before it was EYBL was kind of the same thing, and how you finish in those tournaments depending on if you were going to go to Peach Jam or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of the same format, just it wasn't known as EYBL at the time.
I got you.
Yeah.
So, bro, man, thinking about high school, man, how did you get down to picking the school you went to?
So I was at Chattanooga Christian, so I was there K through 12. So so I was there my whole life. I ended up my freshman year, I was kind of a hot commodity of what I was going to do. I had just came off of a phenomenal 8th grade campaign where we won a championship. So everybody was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I lived down the street from Brainerd. Like I can walk from my mom's front door to Brainerd and be there. And it's like a 5-minute walk. In a car, it'd take like a minute and a half.
Right.
And I wanted to play with Coach High. I had been a big fan of Coach High. My parents went to Brainerd. All my friends in the neighborhood, they all went to Brainerd. So I was like, man, I gotta get to Brainerd. And one of the things that kind of got a very big hiccup at that time was I did not know that if you went to summer camp with another school, that was considered that you were already on the team. So I had went to summer camp with Chattanooga Christian. And then when I was thinking about just eventually going to Brainerd my freshman year, TSSAA was like, well, you already went to practice with these dudes and stuff like that in the summer. You're going to have to sit out. And I was like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I was already starting at Chattanooga Christian. I knew I was going to start there. I knew I had a great opportunity of possibly starting at Brainerd. I just did not. I was kind of stubborn at the time. I was like, I'm not trying to play JV. I want to just have my name in lights, be in a newspaper from day one. So that was kind of one of the hiccups with me not going to Brainerd. So I decided to stay at Chattanooga Christian and do my thing there.
Plus, Will was there, so that made it easy.
Yeah, Will was that. Will was in the same position. He was in the same position I was in. All the private schools, all the public schools were trying to figure out what we were going to do. And we had built some great chemistry. We had already had great chemistry because he was a K through 12 kid too. So we stayed there and we made some magic happen. And I say this all the time. I think he would have been Mr. Basketball. I think he would have beat Jay Steele out if he would have stayed healthy for that AA Mr. Basketball.
It would have definitely been a good competition, man.
It would have been a good competition. Yeah, great competition.
So I gotta ask you this, man. How did the Brainerd faithful treat you, man? I know a lot of them was a little mad at you for not coming, or they really wanted you to come for something.
Right. So I mean, it's crazy because I ended up not going to Brainerd, but I feel like I feel like an honorary member, honorary alumni, because when I ended up not playing there, I ended up coaching there for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then me ended up coaching there for 4 years. We went to the state finals where we lost to Fulton. And I think that was 2017 where we lost to Fulton. So we created some great memories there as me being a coach. And again, a lot of my friends and stuff that I grew up with at the time, they all went to Brainerd, and they always show love. They always show love. So my Brainerd circle is very big, whether it's me playing for Coach Price at Chattanooga State. He's a Brainerd alumni. My best friend in the whole wide world, E.J. Ward, who was the head coach at Tyner. He is Brainerd alumni. And then it's a whole bunch of people that's in my circle. They all went to Brainerd. So I feel like an honorary alumni.
Cool, man.
Hey, so growing up, who was your rival? Who would you have considered your rival?
Rival growing up, it was Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I'm talking
as far as school.
Yeah, school and individually.
Yeah. So school wise, it was Notre Dame because it's the battle of the smaller Christian schools. I mean, the smaller private schools in the area because you got Baylor and Macaulay, but those are like the big private schools here. So it's like us, Notre Dame. We always had history with each other, but individually, I was always setting my sights on being better than a guy named Jeremy Sexton. Jeremy Sexton ended up playing at Charleston Southern, had a great career at Charleston Southern. And he's one of the guys I was like, man, every time we played each other in middle school and stuff, we never played each other in high school, unfortunately. But when I played him in middle school and growing up and stuff, he was always somebody that was like a benchmark for me to see where my game was. We always played pickup and stuff together, so it was always competitive. But Jeremy Sexton individually in this area was a benchmark for me. And then a benchmark for me outside of the area was, of course, James Gallman. Even though he was my teammate,
Right.
I loved how James played. I love how hard he worked. And he was also a benchmark for me outside of Chattanooga, who I was just like, if I want to be, if I want to go to the next level, I have to get on these guys' level.
Yeah.
As a basketball player. So, those are two guys that I really looked up to. And, every time we played pickup or something, I always wanted to hold my own.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's all right, man. Coach Wright, man, talks, he always give me a couple stories about Jalen or James.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that he always says after he speak about James Gallman is he just talks about how hard he worked, man, on the
winner.
Yeah, like it's crazy. He said the things that he did after practice consistently on a daily basis, man, he said it would blow your mind.
Yeah, James Gallman dad, it was crazy too now.
Oh, yeah, I know.
James' dad, it was crazy. And I can't remember, I don't know if y'all know, what's James' uncle name? He had an uncle that was always around too, man. His uncle was a character too. So James, he had a little pressure on him too.
He had some pressure on his neck. Hey, he was on his neck for sure.
But he was a winner. He exemplified everything that you wanted out of a basketball player. As a coach, he was the ultimate winner. You know what I'm saying? James always wanted to guard the best player. He always wanted to make the big time shots, make the big time plays. He always diving on loose balls and stuff like that. So as a coach, I'm, me personally, I'm always looking for a dude like James Gallman.
For sure.
I wouldn't mind a Linwood either now. Linwood, I know he.
Linwood, a two-way guy, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Somebody, he a dog on and off the court.
Right.
I loved it, man. I loved it.
Right.
But
Man.
from day one, when I watched Steve play, I was like, man, I love how he played. Because Steve was like a J Kid.
Yeah, that's why I implemented my game after.
For sure.
If you leave J Kid, if you leave Steve open, he gonna knock it down. But man, he gonna find you. Just run with your hands up. He'll find you.
That was all I want. I got more excitement off of seeing other dudes succeed than I got off of seeing myself succeed. So it's a lot of times my coaches would be like, why did you pass the ball? Like, I'll be open for a fast break layup and I'll slow down just to throw the ball behind my back to a Robert Wade for a dunk. You know what I'm saying? Because, at that time, I was well aware of who was on my team. So I had, having a Gallman, having a Jay Steele, having a Will Moore, those guys, those dudes got to have their touches.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'll make sure, I'll make sure everybody, if you play with me, everybody going to get their touches. Everybody going to feel good. I don't got to shoot the ball now one time in order for me to feel good.
All right.
As long as I know I threw it, threw a lob in the air, somebody caught it, or I threw a backdoor cut to somebody for a dunk or a layup, or I made a one more pass for a three to somebody, that made me feel good. I ain't have to shoot the ball. I was one of them dudes, like, I didn't have to shoot the ball one time in order for me to feel like I was successful on the court.
Boy, you were successful on the court. But yeah, people don't know how good Wade was, man. That's one guy I always talk about. Wade was a freak of nature.
He was on something else.
Man.
All these dunks we seeing these dudes do now, Robert Wade was doing that stuff back then.
Yeah.
360 between the legs. Like, I know I used to throw it off the backboard. He windmilling and 360 in. Off that, Robert Wade was special, man. He was something else.
Yeah. It's fun to play with a dude like that, ain't it?
He was gangster too.
Yeah.
So, on the court, like, Robert Wade got your back. You can talk a little bit more crazier to the other team. Things like that, because Robert Wade gonna have your back, and a lot of dudes not finna cross Robert Wade.
Nah, he was the enforcer.
Yeah, you ain't crossing Robert Wade.
For sure, man. So, bro, when did you have a moment maybe in high school where it was like, I'm pretty good. Like, I can do something with this. Like, did you have that moment?
Well, so I had a moment. I want to say it was my sophomore year. It was a guy named Travis Smith, and every Friday in the Times Free Press, they would put out who leading in points, who leading in assists, who leading in steals. So I could care less about the points, even though I was top 10 in points. I was always trying to get on that assist level. So I was like Travis Smith averaging 10.6 assists a game. And I was like, I want to say I was like at number 3 at that time. And I was averaging like 9. So I said I had dedicated myself for the next 2 weeks. I was like, I know I'm not going to pass him in a week, but I knew if you gave me 2 weeks, I was going to make sure I got to that point that I was number 1 in assist. And then, like, lo and behold, after 2 weeks, I was leading the city in assists with like 12. And I was like, I'm never going back from this. So from my freshman year all the way to my 12th grade year, I led the Chattanooga area in assists every year, and I made sure it stayed that way.
Yeah.
That's big.
So I was like, man, okay, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this assist game. Even though it's like I'm averaging like 18 to 20 every year from freshman to senior. That, like I said, like that stuff never made, like it didn't make or break me whether I scored or not. But when I knew that I was in that area for number 1 as being an assist guy, I knew that I was pretty good. Because coaches used to always say, this is things that I always say to my players. Now, coaches always say, college coaches know that you can score the basketball, but what else can you do to make you stand out?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things in my game that I knew that I could stand out on. And they're like, guys still looking for true point guards. I knew that I was going to always be able to get recruited just based on being a true point guard and making sure the guys that need to score the basketball is going to get the ball.
Man, for real, because everything that you saying, I'm like, man, can I find a point guard like this, man?
right.
Like this, with this mindset, like, please, come on. Sometimes it's so hard because with today's day and time, a lot of the guys that come on, they caught up in the scoring. Not saying the scoring is a bad thing, but they just don't see the value of getting everybody involved and what all of the other things that come into play with being a good point guard. It's a whole bunch of things besides scoring, man.
Yeah.
Right.
So to hear those things, man, it's kind of cool.
But it's crazy. The league, man, it's a dying breed. You got Rondo, and who else is just a true point guard?
Chris Paul, coach.
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Rondo, Chris Paul. It's pretty. I mean, that's pretty much it. Everybody else is going to get a bucket.
Everybody else.
At this point, everybody else pretty much going to get. I mean, LeBron James led the league in assists this year, so that should let you know that point guard is going out to get buckets now.
Yeah,
for sure. So, man, take me through the recruiting process and all that.
So the recruitment process was fun. Recruitment process was fun through and through. Was getting recruited by every level of basketball: D3, NAIA, D2, D1. I had a very interesting pot of schools, which is weird because I don't think a lot of players, they say you are what that's recruiting you. So a lot of guys, getting recruited D2, but they think they D1. But it's like, no, D2 schools are recruiting you, so you're a D2 player. I was all over the board, and I didn't quite know. I did not know what to do. And I know a lot of my offers and stuff was coming off of guys trying to use me to get my teammate Will Moore. So I knew SIU was recruiting me heavy because they wanted him. MTSU, a lot of schools. So I decided at a point that I was just going to go JUCO because I didn't know what to do, to be honest with you. So I took the JUCO route, and it had something to do with my ACT score too. I have real bad test anxiety, so I kept bumming that thing. Like I took I had like a tutor that tutored me for like 6 months straight on the test, and I could just never get over the hump to qualify. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this JUCO route. Things are going to work out for me because I know how to play. It's not going to hinder me from being recruited, at the next level. So I ended up taking the JUCO route, which helped me build a lot of character. And the JUCO route basically has built me into the person that I am today, which is a testament to that.
Man, for sure.
Texas State.
So I was at Cleveland State my freshman year and had a terrible time. Terrible. Me and coach did not get along. I ended up breaking my foot on my birthday at a jamboree. And when I broke my foot, I was in the training room. Nobody from the coaching staff checked on me. So that was kind of like red flag number one. And we was at Columbus State in Georgia. Nobody from the coaching staff checked on me. So when I came back, the trainer was like, you're out for 3 months. And I was like, no. Like, I'm one of them dudes, like, when you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to go do it. That's just me. So she told me I was out, and I came back in 2.5 weeks. I started the whole year, led the team in assists and steals and all this stuff. And me and coaches didn't see eye to eye. But I had built a relationship with Coach Price during that time, and I ended up transferring to Chattanooga State, where I did my sophomore year. I was the starting point guard there, and we went to the JUCO national tournament for the first time, I think, like 25 years for the school. That may be off, maybe real off, but Coach Price was the first coach to take boys and girls program to the national tournament in the same year ever. So he was coaching boys and girls, and our boys team and our girls team went to the national tournament. And he coached both teams.
Man, that's all right there.
Yeah, so my time at Chat State was the best. It was the best. It was the best.
That's strong, man. That's strong. It's funny, man. I feel like hearing all these things about you, man. I'm feeling like everything for you just came full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, man. The game just brought you around full circle. I didn't know that you went to Chat State because how ironic is it that when I was going to see Kawan play up there at Walter State,
Right,
who do I see on the sideline, Coach?
right. I was there, right there. I was like
Yeah,
that.
man,
And I,
look,
right,
everywhere, man. He on
everywhere.
the sideline, getting it in, man. I was proud of you, though. You know what I mean?
They said,
Sure.
well, Coach Price was a big part of me. He was definitely a big part of me being in the position I am today. Like I literally just got off the phone with Coach Price before coming on with you guys. I talked to him 2 or 3 times weekly, just about everything in life and stuff. So he was one of the only coaches that when he says, like, if you ever need something from me, call me. Like that's what he means. So everything has come full circle in my life and has helped me be in the position I am today.
Man, that's why when I seen you post it, I was like, man, he about to do amazing things. When you posted the Hamilton Heights job, I inboxed you. I said, man,
Right.
but I knew that the level that they was at, they was gonna go to the next level because of you.
We thank you, bro. Appreciate that. For real. You was one of the first people to reach out to me. That I knew it was genuine love just because we go back. We go back to what 05, 06.
Yeah.
So I knew the love was genuine coming from you. But we're trying to do some great things in here. The standard is very high at Hamilton Heights, and I'm just trying to take the standard and lift it up another level.
Tell us what all y'all got going on right now, man.
So we're 2-2 right now, which is kind of disappointing with itself, but we're just kind of going through some lumps with injuries and transfers and things like that at this moment. I think within like the next 2 weeks we're going to be exactly where we need to be, and then be on cruise control. But we have some really, really, really good players on this roster that are high major guys, and with COVID and stuff, it's been tough for our seniors.
Yeah.
To have in because coaches. it's really craziness because what's going to happen is next year is guys going to be able to transfer without having to sit out.
Yeah.
JUCO guys are getting an extra year, so guys like Kawan, like this year, don't even count against them. So you get the hoop for like Kawan gets the hoop for free and still have 3 years left of college basketball left. So it's going to be tough for my seniors because if you're thinking about if I'm a college coach and I'm thinking about I'm bringing in a point guard, I would say I'm gonna bring a guy in like Kawan, who's proven at the JUCO level that he's All-American material and stuff like that. So it's gonna be like first dibs is gonna be D1 transfers that don't have to sit out without penalty, and then the next level is gonna be getting JUCO transfers to come in and play with their program, and then the third option is gonna be high school seniors. So some of my seniors are in a tough position right now, just knowing that that's going to be the pecking order for a lot of coaches. But we're in a prime position to help our guys get to the next level. I say that I'm worried, but I know things are going to work out for our seniors. But it's just going to be a crazy year just with COVID and everything that's going on, and the rule changing for NCAA is going to be kind of crazy.
What's up, man? Man, like I said, man, when I saw that this man got this job, I was happy, bro. I
appreciate it.
Man, I love to see I love to see people that look like me doing big things, man. Especially people who I done, ran across and connected with. Cook, I think I first met you. You was coaching AAU with NLP, right?
NLP, correct. That's when me and you we were going head to head. You had Kawan and you had the twins, and
hey man,
we had some great battles.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, man? A lot of good kids came out of them situations, man.
Right. Right. A lot of great kids came out of that situation. So it was a blessing. Definitely, it was a blessing. So that's how me and Real kind of connected on that AAU level, and then we just kind of kept passing each other throughout the years after that. So I see Real everywhere. I'm like, damn, I keep seeing this dude everywhere I go. I know he probably saying the same thing. We kept seeing each other.
That's how it go, bro. That's how it
Right.
go. So check this out, man. Speak on this a little bit. You know, you was talking about the JUCO thing.
Mhm.
You know, we had a new day and time where, you know, kids feel like their career gotta go a certain way. You know what I'm saying? In high school, I'm gonna start on varsity all 4 years. I'm gonna get a Division I offer by like the end of my 10th grade year. And in this case now, I mean, shoot, people getting offers earlier than that. I'm seeing,
Right.
you know, earlier than that. So, you know, can you speak on that? Like, is that realistic or what's the deal, Coach?
I mean, those things. I mean, it's very realistic for those for those things to happen. What I do encourage and players at all levels to do is to always do your research on who's recruiting you, who's on staff, who's on the roster, how successful those players been that's there and that have left and things like that. Because what a lot of people don't know is that everybody wants to play Division I basketball. That's just what it is at the end of the day. Everybody wants to be a Division I basketball player. And when you start thinking about if you're a low major guy, low major Division I guy, it's a lot of Division II schools that have better resources for you than low Division I guys can offer you. So you start thinking about like the Lincoln Memorials and stuff of the world. I mean, they got a great campus, great situation. They win. Like they can beat a lot of Division I schools. They can beat a lot of Division I schools, and so I always just encourage. And I just before getting the job at Hamilton Heights, I was at Life University, an NAIA program, and the things that we were able to offer kids is a lot more than a lot of small Division I schools can offer. So you just have to make sure when kids are going through the recruiting process and things like that, they have to make sure that they're doing the right research, and then make sure they're getting the right advice from the right people. Because you can just look at it and say, okay, I have this Division I offer, or I have this, I have that, and you don't do the research. That's where guys start to transfer because they didn't do anything. They didn't do any research prior to them going to the school. They only went there because it was a D1 school, and then they're looking to get out because they didn't do the proper research on who the coach was, who was on the roster. They didn't ask the right questions and things like that, and then they're in limbo trying to find something else.
Man, that's
Always do your research. Always do your research.
I asked you that, man. I asked you that because that's something that you know we see a lot of that. I mean, on the national level, people that we know. Just think about certain guys you see, man. They go somewhere and it's like, boom, transfer. He here,
Right.
he there. You know, so I don't know, man. I just thought it was cool, man. Did you kind of talked about some of that, man?
Always do your research, and that's in every aspect of life too. Though, before you do anything, man, make sure you do your research before you get yourself jammed up in a situation that you don't necessarily want to be in. But definitely in recruiting, make sure that you're asking the right questions, seeing where you fit within the program, who's on staff, who's on the roster, and how they're going to be able to help you get a degree. So at the end of the day, I'm always encouraging players who I coach, who I don't coach, to try to figure out how you're going to be able to get that degree. Because when that basketball stops and you don't have the basketball ability is gone, like what is next for you? And that degree is going to always be able to help you in the next phase of your life.
Yeah. That's what we're doing it for. We got to get degrees. So,
Gotta
man,
get degrees.
I got a question for both of y'all, man. So, what is the focus as far as high school goes, as far as like reaching out to coaches, getting coaches to see the players? Because I know people hear about it a lot, AAU, but high school wise, how y'all making sure the kids are ready for college and college prep?
I'll let you go first, Coach.
Well, I say from like the standpoint of like where we at Fulton, uh, I think Coach Wright do an amazing job of just giving them a dose of reality. Of expecting their best every single day, no matter what's going on. Man, for real, if and I'm not trying to say that nobody else ain't doing it. You get what I'm saying? But I'm there every day, and to see what he giving those guys, if they hold on to it and latch on to it, it's gonna springboard them into the next phase of their life. If they really use the principles and all of the things that he teaching and stuff outside of the basketball, it's gonna springboard them. But as far as as far as the education part, we don't have a college prep. They don't have necessarily like the college prep curriculum or whatnot. It's pretty much the traditional thing. But we stay up on top of our guys as far as making good grades and trying to excel in the classroom.
That's good. I don't know Coach Wright personally, but I've always admired the guy from afar. Great winning tradition. Won numerous times, and a lot of guys I know that played for him, speak very highly of Coach. Would kind of piggyback off what Coach is saying. I tell my players all the time, I'm not getting them prepared for the next game or the next thing. I'm getting them prepared for the next level. So we say you have to be somewhere at 10 o'clock. You have to be somewhere at 9:30. Or if you say this is what you have to do, like you have to do these things. Because everybody on my roster, which may be a little bit different from Coach Rail, is everybody on my roster has aspirations of playing professional basketball. Like right. Coach may have some players who they may be football players at the next level. Right. All my guys are wanting to play basketball at the next level, and me being able to say that I coach at the next level, I know what college coaches are looking for. I know what the schedule looks like and stuff like that. So I just make sure that I'm always holding my players accountable for everything that they do, because I always tell them all the time, is basketball coaches at the college level get paid a lot of money, and they are not trying to get fired over one kid. They're not going to do it. Coach Calipari getting paid I'm talking about millions of dollars. He's not going to jeopardize the lifestyle that he lives and the lifestyle that he provides for his family over one kid. So I always tell them that all the time, like you have to be accountable for any and everything that you do. So when I say be here at this time and or turn your homework in or things like that, like I'm preparing you for the next level, not only in college but in life at the same time. Like that's I'm very, very big on accountability and making sure that my players know that things have to get done in a manner, because college coaches not getting fired because you want to do your own thing and you don't want to be on time or you want to have bad body language and stuff like that. So that's how I prepare my kids, just as far as just making sure they're accountable in all phases of their life.
For sure, man. Man, Coach, thinking about that schedule, because y'all not your typical high school basketball team.
Not at all.
I look at being able to provide the type of exposure that y'all provide. I look at it like a blessing, you know what I'm saying, for a lot of kids, stuff like that. So speak to me about that schedule. It's a little different, man. It's a little, it's not all peaches and cream, is it?
It's not. Unfortunately, about 2 months ago, we had our schedule. So I posted on Facebook, and everybody's like, Coach, I'm coming to this game. Like, you in my area. We're going to do this. And I posted 2 months ago. A month later, I get a phone call. It's a Wednesday. I remember because it was right before chapel. A tournament we were supposed to be in Missouri. They called me, Coach, tournament canceled. Man, okay. Got to take that off the schedule. 5 minutes later, another tournament called me. Boom, tournament canceled. So we had literally 18 games canceled on us in one day, in 30 minutes, 18 games, just for COVID protocol and things like that, and states being shut down. So it's a guy named Tony Dorado. We're at Nike Elite High School. So the director of the Elite High School named Tony Dorado, he had called me and he said, "Hey, you may want to reach out to coach at La Lumiere, which is in Indiana." He was like, "You want to reach out to him? He has something he's putting together." So I called Coach Holmes. I'm like, "Hey, Tony told me to reach out to you guys." And he was like, "Yeah, man, we're about to start this league with us, Oak Hill, Mount Bird, Sunrise, Legacy, Wasatch, and stuff." And he was like, "Man, we're gonna play each other twice. We're gonna do this and do that." And my whole time, man, my jaw dropped. And I'm like, "Man, we really about to go through the gauntlet this year because these are the best of the best of the best when it comes to high school basketball." So those 18 games got filled, but there is no box on our schedule. So there is no game that we're going to walk into this year where we feel like we can just be overwhelmingly better than the team that we're playing. Because every team schedules some box.
Oh, yeah.
Games that they're going to win. Everybody does it. 2 or 3 games on the schedule where you're like, okay, this is where our bench players can get in, or, whatever, whether it's like a homecoming game or senior night. You always try to make sure you get a bop on your schedule. It ain't no bumps on this schedule. I gotta step my level of intensity up as a coach. I have to have my players ready to play, and things like that. So our league starts in January, which we're very fortunate enough to do. A lot of our games are going to be televised on ESPN and stuff like that. So it gives our players a whole different platform than the traditional high school sense. Is that most of our games are going to be televised on ESPN, just depending on how college basketball flows with COVID and all that stuff.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So, Coach, man, go ahead and set it up, Coach. But we ain't playing 2024.
You said what now?
We want to play in 2024, Coach.
Man, set it up. Hey, boy, we got to play the neutral site though. I just played 2 games in Knoxville. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Man.
I'm being Wood, man. I was texting Wood last night about my 2 experiences with our games in Knoxville, man. Just that may be a neutral court. That may be a neutral court game.
Hey, get them boys to come see you.
Right. That may be a thing because you got the twins over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got the twins, and I remember the twins when they were like firstborn. You know what I'm saying? That's how far me, Jazz, and Howard stuff go. They were coaching you. They coached you, right, Wood, and Trey.
And Trey.
So I mean, that's how far I go back with Jazz and Howard.
Man,
so I know the twins and stuff. So I've been knowing them for a long time.
It's crazy, man, to see these dudes in high school now, man.
It's because I just turned 30 this year, but I swear I feel older than what I am because I'm like, man, I remember when these dudes were first born. Like my AAU coach B, Coach Botenhammer, he's from Nashville. Yeah. And when Coach B was coaching me with the Travelers, his son was just born. And now, like, I remember when his son was born and he was so excited. Now his son is a freshman in high school. And I'm like, I was with this dude when his son was first born and him just being all googly eyed over having a baby. Now his son is a freshman in high school. I'm like, man, I feel old.
So it is, man. I used to crawl around on the ground with them dudes. Now they fresh.
Right.
Now, Coach, let me ask you this, Coach, while I'm thinking about it. Y'all just have one team up there, right?
We have two different teams. So we have a team that's Columbia, that's called, because our colors are Navy, Columbia, blue, and white. So our Columbia team is our national team that plays the national schedule, and then we have a Navy team that plays more of a regional schedule. So it's more local games and stuff like that. So we do have 2 separate teams.
I got you. Coach, I got a feeling, man, there's going to be a couple of guys from Knoxville trying to get up there, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Run out to play with Cook.
I'm a big proponent of, when I took the job, one of the main things I focused on, we have a very big international base as far as our roster. For the past 10 years, it's been very, I don't want to say one-sided international, but I still want to be able to keep our international flavor, as well as help some of our domestic kids too, who may be in similar situations of not having a lot, but being able to help change their lives as well. So we're going to keep our international flavor with continue to have those guys, but still be able to get guys that are domestic for the United States and help them change their lives as well. So that was very big when I was going through the interview process of getting this job, and my bosses understood where I was coming from, and they were definitely down and understood my vision, which is always good when your bosses understand your vision.
Oh yeah.
And they let you do what you and they let you play it out.
It's always good when you got that understanding with like the athletic director, principal, man. Like, look, I got this, and they just like, yeah, you got this. That's why you here.
Right, and that's what my bosses say all the time. It's crazy because sometimes I think they trust me too much. That's what you want to do. Go and do it. Like, go, yeah. I mean, we ain't asking no questions. Like, you need us to sign something, we'll sign it,
Right.
or whatever. But like, it's a very big blessing to have the administration that I have in the board and stuff that we have for the school. Like, they trust me 100% with what we're doing, the vision that I have, the next 5 years that I have in vision for the school, from the basketball aspect. Like, they believe in it. And they're helping me 100% achieve whatever I'm trying to achieve.
Sure. Wood, man, this dude, man, we gonna look up here soon, man. I'm gonna see him on Georgetown staff or something. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be in the big, gonna be somewhere in Connecticut or something. There,
And to be honest with you guys, like when I got into this coaching game, I got into it when I was 22. So I've had this timeline of like where I want to be. So I have like this 40-year-old timeline to where by the time I'm 40, I want to be able to say that I'm a Division I head coach. Whether that's whether that's at the top of the top or the low of the low, like that's my vision, to be able to say that I'm a Division I coach. It may happen, it may not. Like, I've had the experience at the high school level as an assistant, JUCO level as assistant, NAIA level as assistant, and I'm just being persistent and working my tail off to show my worth and my value and stuff. So hopefully in the next 10 years, I'm in position. It may happen before, it may happen on time, but everything is kind of working. Everything's been working in my favor. When you're just trusting God and you're just trusting that He's gonna be, He's gonna put you in situations if you work hard for it and you do what you're supposed to do and you stay faithful.
Oh.
That's power forward, Wood. That's what I call that, man. So,
yeah, it is. Good.
Coach, man, I definitely can see you. I definitely can see it happening, man. So I'm just gonna go ahead and claim it right now on power forward. Wood.
We're gonna,
you know what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
Definitely as a college basketball coach. We definitely
Appreciate that.
But man, we excited about the things you're doing at Hamilton Heights, man. Keep putting them out.
Hey, before we get off this thing, y'all had Jordan on here, right?
Yeah,
sir.
And it was crazy because Howard and Jazz had Jordan AAU 17U. So I was helping them dudes out with that team. And we had Kelvin Jackson. I think Kelvin was at Carter and Fulton and stuff or whatever. So I remember, those guys helping Jordan out as much as they could as far as recruiting goes. And a lot of people saying Jordan was not good enough to play Division I basketball.
Yeah.
So I always admire Jordan. I tell Jordan that he may get sick and tired of me saying this when I see him in person, but I always tell him how much I admired him for staying the course and not letting no be an answer.
Yeah.
Right. So he stayed the course and did what he's supposed to do, and he left a tremendous legacy on at Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people said he wasn't good enough to do it. But he continued to work hard. He stayed faithful. So that's one thing I do, as far as my own life and teachings too, is to work hard and stay faithful. And the things that are supposed to work out for you will work out for you. Because I had him, and I remember Jazz and Howard was saying this dude is very special. Nobody saw it, but Rick Barnes at Tennessee, they saw it, and he was able to leave a tremendous legacy at Tennessee. So shout out to Jordan, man. Shout out to Jordan.
Yo, man.
Yeah, Ross.
For sure. Well, what you think, man?
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm happy to have Cook on here finally, man.
My dog, man. My dog.
Yeah.
We go back to BOD days, man.
Yeah, baby. BOD.
BOD days, man.
Man, when I first saw Cook play, I was like, man, he can go. Like, it's my favorite.
Dishing that thing.
Man, dishing it. And if he had all the people to pass it to.
Hey,
I had the right people to pass. Hey, it ain't nothing like passing to somebody that you know that's gonna make the shot, coach.
there you go. There you go.
Ain't nothing better than knowing that you're gonna pass the ball to a dude like Jay Steele, and
Yep.
Jay Steele ain't missing too many jumpers.
No.
So, hey, Cook, man, real quick before
What's up?
man, you know, I met you on the AAU scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm always just kind of paying attention from afar because I just love the game. So I'm always looking at, like, who the next little guys to come up, you know,
Right.
who's the next one to make some noise. Bruh, I just got to show y'all some love on this, man.
Okay.
I love that whole We Get Buckets little group down there in chat.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah. Them dudes, man. Them young dudes, man. From the coaching staff to the players. One of my players at that I coached at Brainerd, he's a coach, one of the coaches for We Get Buckets. And they have a great group of kids from the kid Ace that's at Boy Buchanan, 6'6" guard. He gonna be out of this world in a couple of years. Cole McCormick, that's at Notre Dame, 6'5" guard. He's gonna be out of this world. And they got some heat all the way from high school to elementary. Like they got all the heat wood. Like them, We Get Buckets boys. They not playing no games. They getting it done.
You know, man, I don't brag on a lot of kids, man, but you know, you meet certain people, and certain people, you know, you just meet them and they strike you a different way, right, bro?
Right.
Kid that is at Macaulay.
Rodney. What's that?
The kid.
Oh, Rodney Henderson. Boo,
Man.
little boo.
Man, dude, I'm just sitting back with my popcorn, watching the story unfold. You feel where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Chance to be real special, man, because he love it, don't he?
Yeah, he want to get better. So this summer when I got the job, man, thank God we had no COVID cases all summer. So all the Hamilton County schools in the area were shut down. Nobody had a gym open. YMCA, everything was shut down. All the workout facilities. I was the only gym in Chattanooga that was able to open. So on Monday and Wednesdays, I had college girls and high school girls come in and hoop, open gym. Tuesday and Thursday, I had the young middle school kids to early high school, and then I had late high school to college. And Jordan actually, came. Dre came through and hooped. And we had all these guys, man. But one person that was consistently in the gym each and every day was Rodney Henderson. Every day. He's not missing a day. Like he'll hit me on a Saturday morning, like, Coach, I need to get in the gym. I need to get better. I will leave the gym unlocked for him so him and his dad can get shots up. So that kid right there, like, when he's the epitome of what hard works look like, and like what you're saying, coaches, you're definitely just kind of, just with your popcorn, just trying to see, just knowing something special is gonna happen with him. And he's just in 8th grade, and he's gonna play a little bit of high school this year, which I think he's way better than what the middle school game provides in chat right now. And he's gonna play a little bit of high school basketball this year, and then which I think he'll be very successful in doing.
Man, that's real good to hear.
Yeah, so him, and then it's a kid, Reed Conley. There's a lot of dudes down here right now, that these young dudes, and I can just keep naming them. But these dudes, man, Cole Ward, a lot of dudes down here. They setting it up for the next generation of Coopers to come through and do something special.
Yeah.
So, man. Cook, man, we done enjoyed you, bro.
Appreciate you having me.
We definitely appreciate you.
Man, y'all know it's all love, man.
So, man.
Hey, man, be on the lookout for Champ, man. Champ, Cook is next up.
Right, Champ next up, man.
For sure. Bro, keep putting in all the good hard work, bro. We gonna definitely be getting at you. We definitely watching you, bro.
I appreciate that so much, man.
So, man.
Signing off.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Forward, Raylan Wood.